We know more tonight about the two men who died in yesterday's plane crash in Arundel. But what we still don't know is why the plane crashed in the first place. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Pat Callahan. After we got off the air at 6 o'clock last night, authorities told us they had identified the men as pilot Eldon Morrison and his son-in-law Paul Koziel, both executives at CPM Constructors, one of Maine's largest construction companies. News Center Maine's David Guilford is at the crash site just off Route 1 in Arundel with the latest on the investigation.
And about the victims. David?
That's right, Pat and Amanda. Two titans of Maine's construction industry are dead after their plane crashed in these woods just over my shoulder, just off of Route 1 in Arundel. And just moments ago, we heard from an investigator from the National Transportation Safety Board who told us getting that plane out of the woods and to where investigators can take a look at the parts in their entirety is the first step to figuring out what happened.
We're going through, right now my coworker, my colleague, is supervising the examination of the airframe with the airframe expert as we speak. Tomorrow we'll do a little bit more detailed examination of the airplane as we extract the wreckage from the site. And it will be, the recovery will be conducted by a company that specializes in aircraft recovery. And as they recover the airplane, it will allow us to do more detailed examinations. We may go through the engine here on site, or we may follow the wreckage to the recovery facility and do the engine exam there. I can't be certain. It depends on what we see. Right now, we don't really have good access to the engine. It's not really safe. It's better to use the equipment that's coming and allow us better access and better visibility.
And Pat and Amanda, in the aftermath of this crash, we've heard from witnesses who physically felt the shocks from this crash in their businesses nearby. We've also heard from people who knew these two men closely. Have a listen.
Neighbors in Arundel still looking for answers, wondering how this plane crashed in the woods Wednesday afternoon.
That plane landed at the end of that road into the woods.
Caleb Doyon, inventory specialist at Arundel Ford, is used to hearing mechanics on the other side of the back wall. But yesterday, it was the front wall that shook.
And my little cabinet next to my desk, it shook, and the whole place just went thump.
Investigators still on scene Thursday, along with the wreckage. Two men died in the crash. 81-year-old Eldon Morrison was flying. His passenger, also his son-in-law, was Paul Koziel, 55.
I feel fortunate to have been in contact with them so incredibly recently, and I just am very sad for their family and their organization as they move forward without these two leaders.
Kelly Flagg heads Associated General Contractors of Maine, an organization well known to both men. A UMaine grad, Morrison founded CPM Constructors in 1985 and remained CEO, while Koziel was president. The company is responsible for critical infrastructure projects throughout Maine, from bridges to railroad and marine construction projects. CPM had just finished this turnpike project a day before the crash. Morrison was once president of the AGC and active in training the next generation of builders. Flagg was at a career day Thursday morning.
It was tragic to hear of their passing yesterday. However, we all came here today knowing that this is exactly what they would have wanted us to be doing.
Morrison was well decorated in the industry. Senator Susan Collins taped this speech in 2010, congratulating him on a major award from AGC.
In many ways, Eldon's accomplishments and contributions exemplify your entire industry.
In the last few years, Paul Koziel was the face of CPM. 2 years ago, he stood with Maine Transportation Commissioner Bruce Van Note, telling Mainers that more money was needed to fix the state's roads and bridges.
Presently, the department's total capital program is just over $530 million in 1 year. It should be more than $750 million.
As condolences pour in, investigators now try to answer how this happened.
Now, that NTSB investigator told us tonight collecting as much data as humanly possible is all he's really concerned about, and he hopes to get that plane out of the woods tomorrow. Pat and Amanda.
David Guilford in Arundel tonight. Thank you.